Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. Welcome to my tier list for the Fenix patch in Heroes of the Storm. As always, this tier list is more directed towards higher levels of play, and that means that if you're in lower leagues, then kind of skill on a particular hero or familiarity with a particular hero can trump what's strong in the meta, as it were. So let's just dive into it, guys. So, by the way, so tier 1 is strongest. I tend to just do a 4-tier system, right? With tier 3 being average. I start every hero in tier 3. If they're a bit weaker, I move them into tier 4. And if they're stronger, I move them into tier 2 or tier 1. So, tier 1, these are, I think, the strongest heroes overall in the game right now. In order, I think Fenix is probably the strongest hero in Hero League at the moment. He just seems a bit overtuned. This is judging from the first day of play in Hero League. He's sitting at a 60% win rate overall. He just seems very, very powerful. So I think he's for sure tier 1, probably worth banning in every game or first picking. I think Garrosh is probably the strongest hero then after Fenix. He's very, very tanky, and the throws that he has, the displacement, is so powerful for getting kills, which works in Hero League. And there just aren't really any supports that are good at the moment that can actually deal with it. It's just the supports can't handle it, which is kind of a problem. They also work very well with him too. Speaking of supports, the two best supports in the game, unquestionably, Stukov and Malfurion. Personally, I'd rate them in that order as well. The orders and all the tiers within the tiers are messed up. It just doesn't work right. It doesn't really matter though. But yeah, I think Stukov is the best. I think Stukov's insanely strong. I think Malf is super strong as well. So you're going to be fighting really over those two if you're being super serious. I think the Shimada brothers, Genji and Hanzo, super strong assassins. I think Greymane is still fantastic as well. And then in terms of solo lane, I think Sonya and Blaze probably stand out as being the strongest. Lioric and Dahaka, not bad either. But it is worth noting that, you know, Sonya and Blaze have been nerfed down slightly since the last time we did the tier list. Same thing with Greymane. Maybe same thing with Genji and Hanzo. I can't remember quite how strong they were in the last tier list. But yeah, definitely Fenix, Garrosh, and Stukov and Malf for me kind of stand a little bit even. Is there even more tiers, like a tier S or something? I'd probably put these 4 heroes as S tier heroes, with maybe like Hanzo squeezing in maybe as well. And down in tier 2 and tier 3, these all heroes are all pretty viable, honestly. Tier 2, these are the stronger ones. So any big ones to point out here? I don't necessarily think so. I think Medivh is super strong. However, Medivh is very difficult to play. So yeah, it'd be like if we're playing in a high level game, Medivh might be worth banning. Could be a scary pick to go up against or a strong pick on your team. In lower levels of play, I think he falls off quite a lot. Blizzard, please nerf Arcane Explosion. It's totally broken and busted, and you nerfed it by 15 damage off of like 365. It went like 365 to 350 damage. It's still too strong, and it's silly, so please fix it. Maiev got nerfed. I think Maiev is still very good. Though she's not like first pick, first ban material anymore. She's just very strong in general. I don't know if there's any other major surprises. One thing I've been maining Johanna this season. She's my most played hero. I've been having massive success with her. I think Johanna just fits this meta really well. I think she's really nice in the role, especially because we're having a lot of like melee assassin. Well, certainly we've had a lot of melee assassin 4-mans, right? Well, having a melee assassin in the 4-man like Maiev or like Thrall. They're quite common at the moment. Or even these like sort of characters like Chromie that don't necessarily, depending on the build, have all that much wave clear. That's, you know, or Genji's the exact same, or even worse, right? He's got even less wave clear. And Johanna kind of supplements that, I think, in a pretty nice way. I just think she's great at the moment, so she's one of my personal favorites. Yeah, Zeratul is actually pretty good too. We've seen Q-build Zeratul with a Void Prison kind of come back into things, certainly on Europe, and I think it's very effective. And yeah, I don't think there's any other major surprises here. I think Alexstrasza is probably, in my opinion, the 3rd best healer. Maybe Uther then a bit below that, though still pretty similar. I think those are a bit weaker. Abathur's super strong with Symbiote build to supplement healing as well. I think he's very powerful on maps like Sky Temple, Cursed Hollow. And yeah, there you go. Tier 3. We got all these heroes, so I won't go through all of them. I mean, like I said, these heroes are pretty viable. I think they're generally pretty fine. They can work really well depending on the comp. If they fit the map really well, if they fit with your team comp really well, if they work really well against the enemy team comp, I think you can make a good argument for picking these heroes. Though you wouldn't be rushing out to pick them up. Like, there's probably never a situation, or very, very few situations, where like Garrosh, Stukov, or Fenix are going to be bad choices, for example. So Tracer, I put Tracer in tier 3 for now. She got nerfed quite a bit. I think tier 3 is probably going to fit her, but time will tell. Maybe she's tier 2. I don't think Tracer's tier 1. I don't think you need to be spending bans on Tracer anymore. Who else is here that kind of stands out? Oh, Varian. Okay, Varian. So from what I can tell so far, Varian is unfortunately pretty badly balanced. I think Colossus Smash is horrifically bad. I think it's terrible, and you're probably going to lose if you pick it. That's just what it feels like to me. He's insanely squishy, and just brings very little in recompense. That's a big word. I shouldn't have said that. Twin Blades is maybe okay at lower levels. I think it's probably still pretty unpickable at higher levels. You know, why pick Twin Blades Varian when you can pick Illidan or something like that? It's always the burning question. And then Taunt, I think, is probably pretty decent. I think Taunt Varian might be okay. He might even be very good. It certainly gives you an early game power spike. Not sure though that it's necessarily worth. So I'm putting him in tier 3 for now, but it will be adjusted. I'd expect to see balance tweaks to Varian in the next patch. I'd expect to see some nerfs to Fenix, just toning him down. I would expect to maybe see some larger changes to Varian. I think that a little bit imbalanced as it is, and not in a good way for him. One other thing to point out, Lily. I've moved Lily up a bit. I think Lily might actually be moving into the meta as being maybe okay. She might be okay as a healer. So I'm gonna try get some Lily games for you on the streams, and over the next couple of days. Hopefully have it up on YouTube by the end of the week or the weekend. I think she might be all right. So time will tell. I mean, we're looking at a lot of sustained healers. She doesn't have the zoning or the CC that Malf or Stukov have, but she might be okay. We'll see. We'll see. Apart from that, I don't think there's any major surprises here in tier 3. Yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly major here. They're all very straightforward. I mean, we could maybe move Li Ming. Is Li Ming in this tier? Yeah, Li Ming and Jaina are like good examples of here. There's a whole bunch. You could probably make arguments to move lots of these heroes up to tier 2. Like Alarak's pretty damn good. You know, Kel'Thuzad, if you're a good player, is very strong. And could probably be a very good counter to Fenix, by the way, if you're very good at Kel'Thuzad. You know, like all these heroes can be super strong picks in the right circumstance. So there you go. Then tier 4, Medivh tier 3. Lol, is he still tier 3? No, I put him in tier 2. I made you happy, Nairuko. Alright, tier 4 then. I think these heroes are, like I said, they're very niche or they're weak. I probably lean away from picking any of these. I'd say particularly heroes like Tyrande. I think Anna. I even think Oriel still. Murky, Raynor. They're just pretty underwhelming. I think, generally speaking, like I say, Diva is pretty bad too. I'm like, unless you got a really good reason for playing these heroes, I would be trying to avoid them, if at all possible. I'm like, there's going to be the occasional game here or there where one of these heroes works really well, but generally speaking, it's going to be extremely unusual that there isn't another hero that would do the same thing but better, or would do enough similar things, but also other things, more other things that make them better overall. So that's what I'd kind of say about the tier 4 heroes. And yeah, there you go, guys. I'll just flick through the roles so we can kind of see them. So in Assassins, we're looking like this, with Fenix being the best, and like Greymane, Genji, Hanzo being really good. And then tier 2, we got all of these Assassins. Tier 3, I think with Assassins, they're very much counter picking when it comes to Assassins. So tier 3 is pretty viable. Tier 4, a little bit weaker. Wouldn't usually pick them. Varian, tier 3, I think. Specialists, I think Abathur and Medivh really good. These ones are pretty good. 2, and then I'd lean away, generally speaking, from picking those ones. Supports, Malf and Stukov. I might even move Tassadar down. We'll see. I think Tassadar's okay. He just doesn't get played. But I do think he... that's interesting. I think he might still be tier 2, though. He just doesn't get played very much. He certainly gets a good bit of pro play. I'll have to test that one out again myself. So I'll come back to you on that. I think Uther and Alex are good. I think all of these heroes are pretty good, though a little bit, they're not as well suited to the meta. And then I think these 3 healers are unfortunately quite weak. And then finally in warriors, I think Garrosh is the best. I think Sonya and Blaze are very strong. All of these heroes are very strong as well. Then we got these ones. They're okay. They're functional, but they tend to be a bit more specific to the comps. They're not as general at all. And then you got Chen, Cho, and Dahaka, and Diva, excuse me, that aren't quite as good. So there you go, guys. That is the tier list. I hope you enjoyed. Give a thumbs up if you did find it helpful. And yeah, check out the live streams. I'm going to be live streaming every day. Might be starting a little bit later than I have been the last couple of weeks to try to avoid overlap with HGC in the mornings. So yeah, you can find me over on Twitch. I'm going to try cover as wide a variety of heroes as I possibly can. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you all soon. Bye-bye.